Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Did you know that Islam answers the world's biggest question? What exactly is the world's biggest question when I say that? The world's biggest question is, what is the meaning of life? And the reason this is the biggest question is because of its importance and its frequency in how often it's been asked. People always, at some point, sooner rather than later, at some point in their life, will ask this question. And throughout history, people have attempted to answer with different theories. For example, some people think that you only live once, so do as much fulfilling and fun things as you can while you're here. Some people think you're supposed to reach some sort of level of enlightenment through meditation and these sorts of things. That's one theory. Other theories say there is no point. There's no meaning. You just have to make up your own meaning in life. That's some of the theories, and there's tons of theories. This is Greek philosophers and all the people around the world theorized about this and tried to figure out the answer to this question. And funnily enough, it sort of became a meme as like the most confusing question. But Islam, and more specifically the Quran, answers this question with a very profound and simple and true answer. And some might think it's going to be a long paragraph or a long hypothesis or a long essay to answer a long, complicated question, right? It's actually quite short. And the reason I bring up this verse is because it's one of, if not my favorite, verse in the Quran. It's the chapter 51, verse 56. I'm going to read it to you. 51, verse 56. I did not create jinn and humans except to worship me. That's the verse. He did not create jinn and humans for anything in the world except to worship him. So all the other things are arbitrary, pointless, meaningless, useless to you, except the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you're not doing that, if you're not worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're actually going off track of your purpose. You're doing something which you're not designed to do. The way I think of it is like if you had a computer program or a robot that you told its job was to lift boxes and put it into another room. That's its job. That's why it was created, was to do this task. And instead, the robot does something else. It just sits there, let's just say. This robot is not fulfilling its purpose, and therefore its entire existence is sort of undermined. Its existence comes into question. Why do you even exist if you're not going to do what you exist for? That makes sense. I mean, it's just like the same with anything. What good is a car if it doesn't drive? Why would you make a car if it's not going to drive? Driving is its purpose. And that same thing applies to everything else. Why would you make a bed if you're not going to sleep in it? I mean, what's the purpose of its existence at that point? So, unless you follow this verse, which is implicitly telling you that to fulfill your purpose, you must worship him. Unless you do that, your existence actually becomes rendered insignificant. sort of pointless and arbitrary. But if you do worship him, then you are indeed like the car that drives and like the bed that is slept in. You are living correctly. You are doing what you're supposed to do. And therefore you have actually indeed answered the question, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's it. Nothing else. The verse didn't say, I did not create jinn and humans except to worship, and it just says worship. That's all that it says. And that makes your goal in life so much clearer, because you ask yourself, any action that I'm doing, does it fulfill my purpose in what I'm supposed to do? And if it doesn't, why are you doing it? Because any other reason is just going to be rendered insignificant or unimportant. However, if it is a form of worship, and worship doesn't just mean praying. Worship can be anything that you do. Like, it can be fulfilling obligations that you have, or doing the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or it can be doing something good with Allah in your mind to please Him. That can all be worship. Doesn't mean you need to go be a monk. But if you don't have that intention, for example, if you don't say Bismillah before you do certain things, that action then, going forward, the subsequent action, is rendered unimportant and insignificant. The action doesn't even make sense. The action is almost invalid. It's like a program and the code isn't working. Or let's say you program, you make an application, or you make a program that is supposed to, I don't know, let's just give an example. It's an AI that is supposed to answer any question that you have. And then when you ask it a question, it just spews out random letters. It's like, well, wait a minute. What is this AI isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing? Something's wrong with it. And if it only did that, you'd start saying, I'm not going to use this AI. I want to go use something else. I mean, it's not doing anything useful at all. So that program now becomes rendered insignificant, almost invalid. It's not even a tool at that point. SubhanAllah. That's all I wanted to say. I actually did have one more thing to say real quick. 3 short announcements. Number 1, I opened up a Discord server. So that way, if you guys want to talk with me, I'm going to be in the VC in there a few times, with a voice call in there every now and then. So if you want to talk to me on a personal level or ask me questions, just make sure to join the Discord server below. Some of the brothers requested to make the group chats private between the genders, so I made 2 private ones for the brothers and sisters. Secondly, there is a TikTok channel on my account. I'm not too big into that, but every time I post a short, I'll probably post it on there as well. So if you guys want to give it a follow, I might post some TikTok exclusive stuff on there as well. Some stuff on there. But I mean, I don't think you can do long form videos on there. I don't usually use it. I don't use TikTok, so I'm kind of new to it, but I don't think you can post long form. So it's just going to be shorts and that kind of stuff. But yeah, make sure you go check it out if you're interested in that. And then last but definitely not least, there is going to be a link in the description if you want to donate to Palestine. Your brothers and sisters there who need help, there's a link down there. You can support them. Make sure to check those out and use them beneficially and use them wisely. And that's all I have to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.